friends, it's Ashley and today I'm here with a new layout documenting my 2021 Goodreads, and I am using some of the December exclusives from Citrus Twist Kits. I will link those in the description box below. I think those are still available in the shop. I'm also using some digital paper, and I'm going to go ahead and get started cutting my papers. Originally I had planned to use my photos, which are just screenshots from my Goodreads app on my phone, just kind of having those laid out on the right hand side of the layout. But I decided it would be too much, just too many photos altogether and not leaving me a lot of room for embellishing. So I decided to create a pocket for those little strips, and I'm going to go ahead and get my background papers cut, and I also cut a piece of pattern paper that has some text which kind of goes along with the book theme, to 3x4. And I'm going to use that for my pocket to put the little photo strips in. And right now I'm cutting a couple of strips. These are about a 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to fold those in half, which is going to make it about 1/4 of an inch. And I am going to put these on the back side of this little 3x4 piece here, and that is going to help me to create my pocket. This is like a little hack that Heidi Swap shares a lot, and it just allows you to make a quick and easy pocket to slip things into. So I'm going to put adhesive on one side of those, and it just creates kind of like a little guide for your papers to go in. And I'm only going to do it on the two sides, and then I'm going to add some adhesive to the back sides here also, and just a little bit of glue to the bottom to seal off that bottom piece so that my photos won't slip out. And once I have all that adhesive, I'm going to place that kind of in the center here, of the right hand side of my background paper. And that will be my pocket that I can slip all of these little photo strips in. And I liked that idea a lot better, instead of using all of those to kind of take up the space on that right hand side. And they fit perfectly in, and get all 5 of those in there. The other photo I have is just kind of what I read in 2021, how many books I read. My goal was 40, and I actually ended up reading 63. So that's what I'm putting on the left hand side here. And I wanted to use that, the little reading log 3x4 card out of the ephemera pack as kind of a layering piece behind this photo, but I also wanted to bring in some of that text paper from the right hand side. So I just backed the photo with a little bit of that, and I'm going to put it over the reading log card. And once I get that in place, I'm going to basically line this piece up with the other little pocket, just so both of these are kind of in the center of the layout, and then go from there with the rest of my design. I didn't really have kind of an end idea of what I wanted this to look like. So I really just wanted those in the center, and then kind of just go with my embellishments, by looking through the different things and seeing what I like to place around the page once I had that main kind of area in place. So I wanted to do my title kind of mixed. I always like to mix fonts for my titles. If I was using cut files a lot, I would like to do kind of different cut files for my titles. So I'm using the word read or read, depending on how you use it, off of this little puffy sticker sheet here. And it has like a kind of a navy color and a different type font than the foam stickers that I'm planning on using also. So once I get that in place, I'm going to switch over to the black foam thickers. I really like the contrast and texture that these always add to a layout. So I'm going to use these for the rest of the title, which is going to say what I read in 2021. So I'm going to put part of the title at the top, and then the other part will go under the photo there. And I kind of do the top part of the title to the left hand side of the page, and the bottom part on the right hand side, so it's not all lined up on one side. I like having it kind of off balance like that. So I'm going to get the rest of that finished up with the in 2021. And I like this kind of notebook paper. It makes it easy for you to line things up, because you have those lines there on your page. So it gives you a good guideline to get everything in place. So once I have that done, I'm going to start going through the ephemera. I like to just kind of go through and see what's in there that I would like to use. This little frame was there, And I knew that I wanted to use that, and initially I thought I would put an embellishment there in the center, but then I decided to bring those foam thickers over to this side also and put my goal for Goodreads, which was 40. So I just used the black foam thickers to spell out goal and then put the number 40 under that. And I liked that much better than using an embellishment there because it kind of brought those letters over and also gives me some black on that side of the page. And I loved this little book piece. I knew I wanted to use that there at the bottom of the page. So I just kind of put it where I wanted it to go. And then I just kind of dig through all of the rest of the ephemera pieces just to kind of see what I want to pick out and put on the layout. And at this point, most of everything that I had on there was neutral or black. I didn't really have any pops of color. So I did pick some red out with some of the ephemera pieces. And I do like that once I get it added to the layout. I like the pops of red on the page. And I did grab some florals. I really liked the yellow flower, and I also grabbed a red one that I thought I would put on the right hand side of the page, but it didn't really work with the hearts on the frame and the book at the bottom of the pocket, so I decided to leave that off and just do the yellow one on the left hand side. So I wanted some dimension with the little books, and I'm going to add pop dots to the back of that just to pop it up some, just to have a little bit of interest to the layout and not have everything so flat. When I pop something up on one side of a traveler's notebook layout, I usually like to pop something up on the other side too, just to have balance on my pages. So I will do some things on the left hand side also. And I'm going to get that floral in place. I liked having it tucked behind the photo, and then just the little leaf here. I only put a little bit of adhesive on that because I didn't want the whole thing to be glued down, and I really didn't need to because it will stay in place with that little bit of adhesive and having it tucked under the flower. So these are chipboard pieces, and I wanted to use the one that said well read. I knew as soon as I saw that one, I wanted to use it, and so it kind of fit perfectly right there in that little cluster with the flower and the leaf. So I did add a pop dot under that to pop it up off of the page. And now I'm going to start bringing in some of those other ephemera pieces, and you can kind of see how the red is really adding to the layout. I'm also adding another little phrase that says filling my heart with things that bring me joy, and just kind of getting some layers and clusters in that little photo area there. And this one says better than the movie, which I really liked because most of the time I find the book to be better than the movie. They like to cut parts out when they do the movie or change characters, which usually aggravates me. So I thought that was fitting for my layout. And I'm just kind of using a few of these little hearts to go around the page just to bring in some more color. And I like the little heart shapes too. So just finding some spots for those to embellish the layout and getting those in place. And I had some more red, so I'm going to use that to kind of build a little visual triangle on the page just by adding one at the top of the right hand side, and then I have the heart kind of in the center of the left page, and then that little phrase at the bottom of the left page, so it kind of guides your eye around the layout. And I decided to use that little heart that says take me away there at the top. And this was kind of the point where I just kept adding things because I couldn't stop myself. So it was kind of a more is more layout. But I really like the way it turned out. And I'm just getting some of those little chipboard phrases in place there. And there were some little stars on the puffy sticker sheet also. And I debated whether I wanted to use those because I already had hearts, but I figure more shapes the better. So I did mix the hearts and the stars, and I did not mind the way it looked. So I just went with that. And I was trying to find something to go up by the pink heart that said take me away. I felt like it needed something else that was a little bit too big. So I do add this puffy sticker here, and then I go back and look again to see if there's anything that I can add next to that heart. There was a chipboard piece that said bookworm, but it looked kind of awkward there, so I decided to take that off. And I did find a cute little red heart on the puffy sticker sheet, so I just cut a pop dot in half, and I add that to the back of the heart, and I'm able to pop that up right there beside the pink heart, and I thought that looked really cute. So I decided to go with that there. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some little tabs to my photo strips. And I'm just cutting a piece of pattern paper. I cut that to 1/2 inch, and I'm going to use my scoreboard to score it down the center, so it'll be about 1/2 inch. And I'm going to fold that in half, and then I'm going to cut these. Originally I cut them at 1 1/4, but I do go back at the end and make all of them 1 inch. They're going to be just little kind of file folder tabs here for the tops of the photo strips, or yes, the photo strips. So I ended up with that one that was 1 inch, and so I decided to go back and cut the other ones at 1 inch also. And this is kind of another little Heidi Swap tip. She makes these little folder tabs all the time, and they're really cute. And I like this method because you can make them to any size that you want to. These are relatively small so that they'll fit on my photo strips. Once I had them cut, I'm just using a circle punch to kind of bite out a little half circle there to give it that photo, or to give it that file folder look. And once I finish all of those, I have an Allie Edwards stamp set that had the numbers 1 through 5. And I'm going to stamp that in black on each one of these, just so I can have it at the top of each of those photo strips. And I'm just going to do a couple of them here, and then I will have that finished up. So I'm going to add some adhesive to the insides, and then I'm going to fold that over at the top of the photo strips and then staple those on there, and that will finish up my layout. If you liked watching today, please leave a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to become a new subscriber. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you next time.